Hi everyone, my name is Dion and I am here with the Can We Just Talk team. Hey everyone.
Hey.
Hey. I am a primary school teacher. I am also on the senior leadership team in the primary department.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Marcus and I am a civil engineer. Enjoying it. So I am busy managing people, older people, which I would always argue is a bit harder than younger people.
We are now trained counsellors,
Yes.
Marcus and I. We are trained to do pre-marriage and post-marriage counselling.
Yeah. And it's just to say, it's not when you're having a problem that you got to have counselling. You can have counselling at any time. It can bring out good and it can bring out bad, yes. But it's about building on all of those things and building a stronger team and building an empire.
Oh, come on. Well, we're going to talk about building an empire later at some point. We have been married for 9 years. Whoop, whoop. Going strong. You better say yes. It's amazing.
Yes.
That's better. 9 years strong. And we are in our home. We're currently recording in our home. And also, we are accompanied by my lovely friend, Cherie, and her beautiful husband, Jonathan. So we'll let Cherie introduce herself a little more and you guys continue.
So, my name is Cherie Lawrence. I have been married to the very handsome Mr. Jonathan Lawrence for 9 years strong as well.
Whoop.
Yes, 9 years.
It's just nothing.
Amazing. You know what it is? We've got to remember on radio, so I've got to say yes, not nod.
We've been married for 9 years and we have 2 little boys that we are often challenged with.
Yeah.
They're very active, they keep us very busy. I am now training to be a nurse, which is a bit of a career change for me because I used to be in design. Just going back to studying at the minute with 2 small people, which is an interesting task, but we'll see what happens. One can only try. Y'all pray for me. And Mr. Lawrence.
And I am Jonathan. I am a paramedic, West Midlands Ambulance Service. I am
NHS.
I am 35 years old because it doesn't seem like anyone wants to tell their age, so I'm 35 going strong.
You're not though.
I'm 35. You don't know how old I am.
Oh, shame.
So-
You know why? Because I actually don't know how old I am.
So just for the record,
How old are you?
just for the record, my wife actually doesn't know her husband's age.
You're old.
I am 35, strong.
You proud?
I look and feel the body of a 20-year-old man.
Oh, here we go. Even if he says it himself.
You're the oldest one in the
I
Can We
am?
Just Talk crew. You are the granddad.
I'm the old boy.
I'm sorry.
I am. Wisdom.
Only by mums, because I'm 35 too, but yeah, it's by mums.
And can I just put it out that I'm the youngest?
Yes.
Okay, I am currently 32. I look like I'm 23, but I'm 32. Okay,
Yeah, but if we're going on how people look, I look about 16.
okay, so he's not
told you
joking.
that?
No, he's not joking.
Who told you?
He's not joking. So we went on holiday, short story. We went on holiday and a lady,
Nah, she's low.
but no, honestly, I was very hurt by the situation.
Go on.
So a lady decided to come over to us and be like, oh, you guys are so nice. Where are you from? Da, 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 da. And we're talking and then she says, well, how old are you? And I says, oh, I can't remember how old I was at the time. When I says, oh, this, and he's my husband. She goes, your husband? I said, yeah. And she goes, I thought he was your son. No, I stood there and I went, too far. I said, you are taking this too far. I said,
no.
son, younger brother maybe, but son, I was very upset by this. And then she goes, no, I mean, he just looks,
No, she
it's a
can't dig
baby
out of that
face.
one.
It's because he has a baby face.
Nah, he does have a baby face.
He does have a baby face.
100%.
But I'm sorry, I don't look old
don't-
enough to be his mum.
No,
chance.
that's deep
No.
still.
She cut me deep.
Yeah.
that's real deep.
It was a holiday, so I did have to just go for a walk on my own and like calm down a bit.
Yeah.
Collect yourself.
Collect my thoughts.
Yeah, that's a
I
little
think she
bit
was
deep.
just
I think I'd be
hoping,
really
possibly.
upset about that.
Marcus, she thinks she was hoping that she could have got in there with you. All right. Oh, you didn't tell me this before.
Nah.
Marcus got that fire, you know.
16. Anyway, mate, she was lying. You don't look 16. So
Wow. Moving on swiftly.
So our topic today, we're going to be talking about the 5 love languages and communication. So this is really interesting because there's so many different ways that you can communicate. You have body language, you have normal just talking with one another. But what are love languages? Why are those things important? So we'll be, talking about that throughout this episode. So let's talk about communication. Let's begin. Why is communication important? Why do you think it's important?
I guess it's the key to everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go into the working world, you go into anything really, and they always talk about communicating, talking to people. It's good to talk. It's good to understand each other. So yeah, I guess just answering the question is the key to everything.
Okay.
I would say mastering it, or at least being aware of its importance, definitely is the start to solving a lot of issues. And like Marcus said, whether that's in your relationship, whether that's a work situation, working with your colleagues, working with a patient, like it's so key. I feel like you have to get it right, but also knowing when to listen as well. It's not just about knowing how to put your point across. It's definitely knowing when you need to listen and when you need to just stop giving it all the chit chat and trying to get the last say. It's about just kind of listening and processing, I would say.
The active listening. Yeah.
You can't always think that the person knows what you're thinking or what you're talking about or what could be going on in your head. You've got to be able to communicate your feelings or anything. In like same thing with work, in a family life, you have to be able to, openly explain everything, what's going on in your mind. I realised it at work. To be fair, when we working and let's say there's 3 different people on the job, you have to basically explain everything
In your head.
that's going on in your head, or else if everyone's thinking in their heads, and then you'll have a mess. And it's the same thing in your home life as well. You've got to just get it all out.
I'm starting to realise that more now with the whole work thing. Like, I think before, like, not that you didn't need to communicate when you're working in design. I'm not saying that at all, but it's a different level of communication in healthcare. And I'm seeing, like, exactly what Jonathan's just said, knowing that, like, one particular scenario could involve so many people. It's just crazy. And it's not good enough. I guess I'm quite used to working in more of a refined group. So having to switch that and make sure that, a patient understands what you're thinking or what you're trying to achieve, but then a senior understands and 2 people that you're working with understand. And like, I've got to take myself out of that. Oh, I need to get this and done. And, once I complete these things, this is my end result. And I've got to get that out of my mind now, because suddenly it actually matters very crucially to everybody else. So yeah, I'd say being able to articulate yourself well is important.
For those of you who have just tuned in, who have just joined, welcome to our show. We are Can We Just Talk? And we're just focusing or talking about discussing the 5 love languages and why communication is important. So we were just talking and sharing about communication and what it is and how we all use it in our jobs. I mean, I'm a primary school teacher and I have to use communication. That's my job, communicating even when I'm speaking. If I don't have a voice, when you get a cough and a cold, I lose my voice, I have no job. Like, I need my voice to speak. But then also, we get to see that it's not just about talking, communicating, but I may have children who are deaf. Like, I had a child who was deaf in my class, and so I had to make it very clear. My body language had to be very, expressive. I had to be very clear with my wording, with what I was doing with my mouth, because he did a lot of lip reading. And so all of those things helped me to communicate. So in a situation like this where Can We Just Talk team, we're all about promoting relationships and how we can support relationships and help relationships to grow. So how do we bring these communication skills into a relationship now? So how would we do that? Cherie, do you want to?
I think what we've always said, what Jonathan and I have always said, is that it's having our pre-marriage counselling was absolutely like imperative to the first kind of year of our marriage being successful, because we just did not realise, you know, you've got the whole dating, you talk on the phone, you meet up, you go on dates and that sort of thing, but it's a different type of communication, and suddenly you're living with someone, you're sharing a space, you're making these decisions together that you ordinarily would have just cracked on with and done on your own. So having that counselling actually exposed us to scenarios we wouldn't have been exposed to so early on. So it meant that we were able to say, kind of recall that conversation and say, actually, yeah, like you can take a step back and think, actually, in counselling, we actually discussed this. So it kind of made us think before we went, like, you know,
gung-ho, full.
straight into a situation. So I would say the pre-marriage counselling is vital to teaching you how to communicate with your spouse. Like, what works for us isn't going to be identical to what works for you and Marcus, Dion. So bringing that kind of effective communication into our relationship, definitely the starting block and the most important thing was the pre-marriage counselling, in my opinion.
Do you remember our pre-marriage counselling? Like our pre-marriage counselling was just, it was almost like it was the glue that bonded us together, even before we got married. So it was like, we were told that I'm going to try and pull you apart. We're going to try and break you, you know, because then you will see the strength that you have in your relationship. So we are going to try and break you. Obviously, we don't want to see you broken, but that's all these questions, all the things that we're doing. We're going to dig and we're going to dig to try and make sure that we see how strong your bond is. And some of the questions, some of the discussions we had, the homeworks that we even had, you know, that we had to come home and do your little on the side thing by yourself, and then you come back and you're like, I can't believe you thought that. And that's exactly what we do with the couples that we counsel now. You know, we get to relive that again with them, which is nice, because not only are we helping them to share, to strengthen their journey, but it's also strengthening ours, because we're going back and saying, actually, remember, you said this, and now here we are 9 years later, and it might have changed. In most of the cases, it hasn't, which is interesting. You know, it's just that we understand each other a lot better. So pre-marriage counselling is brilliant.
Life Radio.
So we are the Can We Just Talk team, and we are discussing the 5 love languages and communication. And here with me, I have got the handsome Marcus Ray, my husband. We've got Jonathan Lawrence, and we've got his wonderful wife and also my beautiful friend, Cherie Lawrence. Now we're just going to go straight back into the 5 love languages. So Jonathan, do you want to just lead on what they are? Just simply what they are.
5 love languages. Can't talk. So one of them, words of affirmation. Then we've got receiving gifts. We have quality time, acts of service, and physical touch.
Excellent. So here is the $1 million question. Do you know what your partner's love language is?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
You should know after 9 years.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just being real with the people, you know. So sometimes it changes, you know. It's not always the same one throughout those 9 years.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
It can switch and change and come back to what it was before, or change 1 month after the other.
I like to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, so I'm working on all 5. I have all 5 in my head.
That's the right thing to do. Okay, Jonathan, I'm putting you on the spot. Do you know what Cherie's love language is?
Yeah, I don't have to worry about all 5, to be fair. I think physical touch.
Hey.
No, not think. It is physical touch. I reckon if Cherie could be on my back, piggyback, around the house. Should be right there. But no, yeah, physical touch, definitely for sure.
I'm a cuddler.
Cuddling, just likes to be close, touching, feeling, all the time.
Okay, so for those of you who have just joined in, we're talking again about love languages, and I spoke earlier about not just communicating, but also your body language. Now we're sitting in my living room, and these are talking about how they are close and how her body language is touch. And she is on the complete opposite side of the sofa, whereas
She's actually leaning over to him. That's what's quite funny. She's trying to get closer.
A lot of cushions between you.
whereas me, on the other hand, I'm sitting right underneath my husband because I just
not literally.
no, not literally because you'd squash me, but I just
Wow.
I just want to feel him touch me here, like on my arm.
On
so
an arm, yes.
on my
Clarify,
arm,
please.
it's a
Clarify.
family show.
Yes, please.
On my arm. But yeah, so that's quite interesting that she said that it's
I think you know what it is. It's because he knows that I get vexed when he comes home from work. If he doesn't come straight to me to give me my cuddle, I'm a bit like, what? Excuse me, and I will definitely have my face on, and I'll be mad until he does.
Now,
He knows
that is
that.
an important point.
That's true.
Just
Like,
to say.
I'll just be honest, I'm not happy until I don't even really want to talk to him until he comes and gives me a hug. I'm like, nah, like priorities, please, mate.
Gosh,
Well, that's right.
That's important, but it's a good point though, because you're talking about yes, that communication again, but in a different way. So we talk about the communication being in body language, in the tone of your voice, and then in spoken word. And for all you that don't know, body language makes up 55% of your communication.
All right, now with the
Now for the statistics. Now for the scientific part. So then 38% makes up the tone, so the tone of your voice, and then 7% makes up the actual spoken word. So a lot of us, we talk all the time and say we need to communicate, so we're talking to each other. Oh, say something more, but it's not actually about that. It's about physical touch, just being next to you or coming in after work and hugging Cherie and all that sort of thing. That's a massive percentage.
so let's bring this to real life situations.
There we go.
So, Marcus, when he gets a minute to have some time to himself, which is not often, let me just put it out there before you go, it's not true. So when he does get a minute for himself, he likes to, just wind down on the PlayStation, and he'll have a moment where he'll just want to play online with his brothers and whatnot. Now, I would think, okay, leave him alone because he's having his moment where he's by himself. Now, what he's saying is he would appreciate me coming and sitting next to him while he's playing. So now,
Cherie!
can we just discuss this?
What was that about, man?
Can you help me? Rolling eyes, that's how I feel, Cherie. That's how I feel. So, can you tell me how do I fix this? Like,
I don't even know what to say because that's a no from me. Like, I just couldn't do. I don't know. Do I annoy you when I sit next to you?
Nah, you know me when you walk past me.
Oh yeah, because I walk past the screen. No, sometimes I try and time it and jump, but it don't really work.
No.
sometimes I walk past slowly on purpose just so that he can pay attention.
I'm here. No, I don't know. For me, I try. I think maybe it's the right thing to do. I sit there for a bit, but I get bored. It's just not fair to expect me to sit there watching and listening to you
But how do you
play.
think we feel when we have to sit there and watch you watch full on TV?
Yeah, 100%. I'll go to the gym.
No, let's be fair.
I'll go. When Love Island's on.
Do I ask you to sit down and watch things with me, or do you just go to the gym or
Alright,
go and do something
so when
else?
Love Island's on, I absolutely make a beeline for the gym. But I think
I think any trash TV makes a be.
I allow you to sit and talk to me about it. I'm clearly not interested.
Yeah,
but then
okay.
you'll tell me about everything
Well, I
that's going
sit
on.
and watch you playing on your Xbox sometimes, and then
Not really.
You just said you didn't.
no, I did. Like I'll sit there for give it 10-15 minutes, and then after that, I've had
like
enough.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
exactly. There you go.
Has it finished now?
So let's bring this back now to the 5 love languages. What area does that fall under? What does that fall under? If I
Quality time.
Quality time.
how is that quality time?
Quality time.
GT, mate.
The same way you want us to sit there and watch trash on TV that we may not like,
You do like it.
we have to sit. We have to sit there and watch it with you and have quality time.
No.
Now it might not always be something that you like, but it's important for me to be there with you. In the same way, it would be lovely for you to be there with us while we're playing game.
No, I'm sorry. I believe that quality time should be something where the two of you are engaged together in a shared interest. So if you both like playing basketball, then you both go and play basketball together. Not one of us sits there while the other one does something that they enjoy.
You know what? You're right. So you know what should happen from now on? Instead of watching me play, come and play with me.
No,
Yeah, you know.
I don't have time.
This is an area of growth, clearly, because I'm not
There should be
there.
some sort of encouragement there, at least. Do you know how much better I'd be at FIFA if someone was just encouraging me?
Listen, you've got the crowd.
Go for it, Jonathan.
You've got the crowd shouting
You
now.
can do it, babes.
You can do it, babe.
I'm just not here for it anyway. I'll try.
I think you're right. We have to find something that it's mutual quality time. But I do also think that sometimes it's not always going to be mutual quality time. I might want to watch an adventurous film or, a military film or an action film is probably the better word.
Yeah.
And you may not want to watch that.
I absolutely.
However,
want a chick flick.
You'll
That's
sit
all
there
I
and watch
want.
it.
Rom-com.
I want a rom-com.
Yeah.
I want
Some of them are okay, but then other ones, they're just all the same story.
You know the story before it's even
Yeah.
started.
Me too, man.
Oh, and this is why you need a good friend. So me and Cherie, we will watch those things. And how about you and Jonathan? You guys play computer games.
There we go.
And
Problem
then-
solved.
It's
Marcus is a pagan now, he's got a PlayStation, so I can't even know.
But for some reason, Jonathan has this box that has an X on it. What is that? What's the point?
Okay, right. So
Anyway.
back to the 5 love languages. So do you think it's important to understand? Well, I think it is. But does understanding make a difference? Do you think understanding makes a difference?
I mean, if you don't understand or you've not really thought about, I guess, someone else's love language, or your partner's love language, even more so than your own. If you don't know your own, that's also a problem, because you then cannot have an expectation that they should know what you like or how you feel, because you don't even know what your own love language is. So it's important that you know what your own is. And then it's that whole communication then of, if your partner is not giving you or feeding your love language, you then can try and implement that or talk to them and say, look, I need you to stop playing PlayStation and come and sit with me and watch TV.
From my experiences, the generation above me, so like my parents and their older folk, love languages, what's that? Like,
Yeah.
It's just love language. Listen, me love you. That's it. That's all you need to know. For real.
Me cook
For
for
real.
you, me clean for you,
That's
me
it.
give you a house, me give you food, me give you clothes.
No,
Me
but
love
for
you,
real,
you
that's
know.
right. And I don't think it wasn't even a thing. You knew that they loved you regardless.
Yeah.
That they would make sure you'd have, like Marcus has already mentioned, you had food, you had place to live, you had all of them things that in the kitchen cooking. That was huge. Like, I don't need to say it. I'm showing you that I love you.
Yeah.
I come
Going
on.
to work.
I'm going to work. Exactly.
yeah.
2 jobs, 3 jobs.
So how is it that they got by, but now we want to talk about love languages? Like.
I think we're in an era of talking about stuff in general. Because I was reading a book, the book we read together actually, how when this fictitious 30-year-old or 27-year-old told her grandparents she was going to have counselling, her grandmother thought she was mad and was like, no way. Like, it's absolutely not happening.
Not
Are you
in
mad?
this
You
house.
don't need to have counselling. What for?
Bringing shame on the family.
Yeah. And I think that's the, we don't necessarily need to talk about things, but we've kind of moved into an era where, yes, we acknowledge that you need to talk about your feelings, and yes, you can seek counsel to get support, and we're talking more about mental health and all different types of things. So exactly what you're saying, that generation above us kind of just got by. But I mean, how successfully did they just get by? And yes, we've kind of moved into this space now where we're like, let's explore actually to make things easier and more pleasant along the way. I think it's just that like natural transition. We're of a generation where we talk about things a little bit more.
Because knowledge has increased as well, hasn't it? So we've got access to Google, and everyone's educated. Everyone's got a degree or some sort of diploma. in Google as well. Do you know?
I've heard it
Google
called
diplomas.
Google, like Uncle Google knows everything.
Yeah.
Go speak to Uncle Google, man.
So we're living in that time period where like there's so much education, knowledge, understanding, and again, everyone's wanting to talk, and there's that push to everyone communicating better, just in general. So that I think that's probably why we are where we are in sense of not similar to how our parents are. But at the same time, they've got marriages that are 60 years deep, 70 years, and like big numbers.
But then saying that as well, a lot of them, even if they would have a situation, going back to what Cherie just mentioned about the book, they would, number one, they'd stay together anyway, or number two, I'm not going to be letting people know my business. It's not about that. If I'm going to seek a counsellor, that counsellor is going to know. That counsellor is going to know, and then that person will go tell that person, and that person will go tell that one, and everybody are going to know my business. And that's the generation, that's how they, that mentality. So I think fair play to our parents, and the generation above us who actually have changed that tone. I think they're the ones who have changed that and have said, no, come and talk to us, come and say this, come and speak to us, So yes, those of you who are from our parents' generation, congratulations to you. Well done. True. Well done for changing a whole mindset for a generation.
We're learning more, and we've grown up in this whole wanting to talk and explore feelings and share and know more, and the fact that we're even talking about love languages now. I would say as well, just to bring it back to that love language topic, is that it's normal to have more than one as well, because I think some people can think, oh, what's my one out of the 5?
Life Radio.
You are listening to Can We Just Talk, and this episode is the 5 love languages and communication. So we've just been sharing our experiences. We've been talking about what it looks like in real life for us as couples. But let's dig a little bit deeper. So now we're going to actually explore what these 5 love languages are. So Jonathan mentioned them earlier in the show. He mentioned that they were words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. And Cherie explained that Jonathan actually, fair play to Jonathan, that he explained that Cherie's love language is physical touch, and he knows it, and it's helped on their marital journey, which is nice. Okay, so before we move on, we're just going to go around and see if we all know what each of our husbands or wives' love languages are. As Jonathan mentioned earlier in the show, he knows what Cherie's is. So Cherie, come on.
Quality time, 100%. Jonathan doesn't like interruptions in terms of phone calls. He doesn't like to answer the phone if he's at home. He doesn't like to be social.
You mean he's a hobbit?
Yes. He would rather. He would much rather just spend time, just the two of us. If we have to go somewhere or do something, he's like, oh, we could just go together. Or he's very much a home bod.
Why are you not like that?
And he's quite happy. Yeah, he loves staying at home. He's like, oh, why would I do that when I could just stay at home with my family though? He just loves being with me and the boys. That's it for him, and that's always his first choice.
I love that.
That's good, man.
His children and me. All right, Mr.
Good.
Particular.
That's good. I like that.
Do you have any others? Is just one?
Oh, that's your main one.
That's a clue.
That's
a clue, Cherie. That's a clue.
Quick, Cherie, find something.
I don't think you do. As much as they're all relevant, but I don't think you have a key additional one. because you like gifts. If I buy something for Jonathan, it's a problem really, because he'd be like, "Oh, thanks, babe. That's really nice, but you didn't have to." So I wouldn't say it's gifts. Physical touch, I feel like,
That's just all yours.
yeah.
There's an element.
Yeah, because he does love when I give him a cuddle or something, but then he'll be like, "All right, babe, man."
That's
like,
enough now.
Yeah. And then I get mad.
Enough cuddle.
Exactly.
Nah, there's enough. There's a point where it's like, I'm hot now, I'm sweaty.
Personal space.
So yeah, quality time, acts of service. Like, yes, you do appreciate. Okay, I'll give you that. You do appreciate when I do certain.
There you go. There you
He does
go.
appreciate it. So we've discussed between us before, with the raise and what have you, that I was always one to feel like I needed to cook all the time, like hard food all the time. And he's like, listen, like, nah, some days egg and beans. So
Some days, egg and beans.
so he's
100.
like,
Is it ever an egg and beans day?
he appreciates, he definitely appreciates absolutely everything. He always says that he appreciates, you know, me looking after the house, like looking after the children, like doing things for him, like anything I do, like that I think is small that you just do anyway. He'll always say, "Oh, babe, thanks for that." So he's always very appreciative. So yeah.
Well done, Jonathan.
Well done.
Excellent.
Well done to Cherie for knowing my love
I've
languages.
been with you 12 years, mate.
Took you a second. Took you a second. 12 minutes.
Right, so I'm gonna weigh in. I'm gonna weigh in and try and score some points like Jonathan.
Oh,
So Dion's are words of affirmation. I'll give that 99% because then the 1%.
wait, let's go through words of affirmation. So, like, what are you trying to? What is it that you mean?
I'm just saying.
99%?
I'm just saying. I'm
No.
just saying that Dion needs words of affirmation. You know, it could just be, "Babe, do I look nice in this?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, you're nice. It's cool. You look pretty." And then 10 minutes later, "Babe, do I look nice in this?" "Yes, you do."
Oh, Marcus.
"Babe, do I look nice in this?" "Yes."
No.
So then,
Thank you. Even you see, and that's why you have best friends, because best friends understand that 99 is high. Okay.
It's pretty high.
99 is high, mate.
that's okay.
So you just so that's all of me is what you're trying to say.
No, but I'm saying majority is words of affirmation.
Well, then do you want to drop the percentage?
Yeah,
of it?
okay. I'll drop it down to
99.
I'll drop it down to 98.
Oh my
No, okay. So let's just 50-50. 50-50. Words of affirmation is one because you need the affirmation. You're a wonderful woman. You do a lot around the house. You look after your children, exactly. But she needs to be reminded that she is
Appreciated?
appreciated.
Yeah, but you're making it sound like I'm uncertain of myself. I'm not uncertain of myself. It's just that it's nice to
bro.
Oh, come on. Come on.
And that's why it's words of affirmation.
Come on.
She just wants to be told that, and I appreciate that. I understand that. And it got to a point where I understood that I needed to give her that affirmation more, because rather than it be an expectation or an understanding that, well, you know, I've got a winner and I know I've got a winner. Yeah. So I don't need to keep on. For me, I didn't need to keep on saying that I got a winner because I know I got a winner.
No, you
However,
need to say you got a winner.
Exactly. So I've learned that I need to let you know that I have a winner more.
Or else your winner's not gonna win. She's gonna come second. Come on, next point.
Okay, so the next one next to words of affirmation is quality time. Dion wants quality time with me all the time. And I know that sounded negative, but it wasn't negative. She wants quality time. So it's learning that sometimes I may have to watch the trash on TV, which is what we talked about earlier on. It may not be what I want to watch, but you know what? I appreciate the quality time that you would like with me. So I will hold on to your hand
As he
and watch
holds my hand.
and watch the trash as well.
Whatever. Marcus, whatever.
That's Marcus's. Let's see it.
Yes, please.
Let's see it.
Please.
So Marcus's is, let me think. He says it's a physical touch. He says it is. I know that mine is more physical touch than his is. He says it's physical touch. So, you know, he like, I don't know, I try to play into it. So I don't see Marcus often, guys. I really don't. He's always working. If he's not working, he's doing church stuff. If he's not doing church stuff, he's sleeping. So I don't see him most of the time.
I'm sorry for sleeping, babe. I apologize.
Where are you, man?
I apologize.
Exactly. So he'll tell you. Sometimes I go, Marcus, where are you? I'm upstairs. Okay. I just wanted to know where you are, like, because that's what I need. But anyway, back to you. Yes. So he says it's physical touch. So when I do see him, I'll try to, like, oh, hi babe, everything okay? And I give him a little touch or a little stroke on the back of his neck as he's working on a Teams meeting or something. There's not much. I don't see him, so it's not like to say we could sit down and have some time where you're holding hands and watching rubbish, because I hardly watch telly anyway.
Yeah, but that is, listen, for all the women out there, let me just put a point of understanding for us guys, okay? So us guys, we do like that.
What do you like?
It might just be a 5-second or a passing touch. It's still very important.
It is, no, it's true.
Because
while you're playing computer games.
I didn't talk about computer games, but yes,
anyway.
it could work on computer
anytime,
games.
anytime.
Anything. Even if I am on a Teams meeting, you know what I'll do? I'll press the take off my video just so that you can just say, "Hey babe, I'm here. Here's a cuddle," or "Here's a."
Yeah, but then it's not spontaneous.
It is. It is. Nah, man. Nah.
Would Dion just pop into the office? No.
I wish she would.
No one ain't got time for that.
No, seriously though. As I said, this was my point to the women out there. Just take that second just to let them know that you are there.
I do.
That is also a big thing in our book.
Okay, I take that. I'll take that.
So what's the next one?
So, and I think you also show sometimes, I think you tap into all of them. I think you like receiving gifts. You do like receiving gifts. Like, if I was to go and buy you a pair of Jordans, you'd absolutely be like so happy. If I went into the Nike store and came home with a couple t-shirts, you'd be over the moon. Mm-hmm. So I do think that you do appreciate like receiving gifts to a certain extent. Yeah. And I think that you do enjoy quality time too. Words of affirmation every now and then. It's not as much as for me, but I feel like
you're 99%, mate.
Well, do you know what I mean? No, but nobody could be as much as me.
Could be 100.
I feel like for men in general, words of affirmation is not really a thing. There's probably guys out there, I don't know, but
you need it more.
Yeah, but
but is affirmation all about just you look nice? I don't think
No.
I
think it's kind of, you've done a good job.
Yeah.
You know, I guess for myself and maybe Jonathan, you just kind of learn as a, if you want, the male role is seen as you look after your family, you look after your household, you look after your woman. I'm there if anything that you need, and I just do it. We don't really think about it, but it's also a booster, or very nice if once out of the blue moon you just acknowledged it and went, "Oh babe, you done a really good job of that, I love it," or "Babe, that's really nice."
I don't think it's as deep as like something that you need, but it's just
no,
like
and this is why I said I feel like you could go into all of the areas. I think you particularly have areas like words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, physical touch. You cover them all.
That, though. You've kind of put me in one box here.
Two boxes, but yeah, it's not what you were saying before. Like, your love language can change throughout the day. And it's that whole, like, in your workplace, it's one day, like Dion talks to kids, then she's talking to their parents, then she's talking to teachers, and you almost got to change your communication throughout the whole day anyway. And it's like that with being at home, being married, being in a relationship. You are changing your love language throughout the day.
But I guess the important thing for us all to take from that is understanding what they are, how they are expressed, understanding what your own is and how you would like it to be expressed in some way. And then when you understand that, you then begin to learn and see where it changes. Because some of us out there might be thinking, well, if it's words of affirmation today, how do I know when it's changed? Or what if she then changes tomorrow to something else and I can't keep up with it? But as you learn each other and learn each other's love languages, you begin to see when it kind of molds and changes into something else.
Okay, so if you are wondering what your love language is, you can go to www.5lovelanguages.com, and on that page you can take a quiz. So you can take a quiz, few questions that you can go through, and then they will tell you, based on your answers, what your love language is. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to Can We Just Talk. Cherie, do you want to tell everyone how they can follow us and where to find us?
Yes. So we are on YouTube. If you want to search for our channel, Can We Just Talk? And we are on Facebook and Instagram, Can We Just Talk 20.